What is the certification of contents a demanding letter, in Korea? In South Korea, a certification of contents a demanding letter refers to a formal written request for payment or satisfaction of a claim. It is typically used in cases where a person or entity is owed money or has suffered some form of loss and is seeking compensation from the person or entity responsible. A demanding letter may also be used to demand an apology or rectification of a wrong. In legal proceedings, a demanding letter is often the first step taken before pursuing more formal legal action. The content and format of a demanding letter in South Korea may vary depending on the specific circumstances, but it should clearly state the reason for the demand and the specific remedy sought. It is used to prove the existence of certain facts or to provide evidence for legal purposes. This service is often used in civil lawsuits or administrative proceedings. A certified copy of the contents can be used as evidence in court, and the certificate itself can be used as proof of the authenticity of the document. However, it is important to follow the proper procedures for sending legal documents to ensure that they are delivered safely and in a timely manner. What are the differences between the Korean and U.S. certification of content services? The certification of content services in Korea and the U.S. are different in several ways. In Korea, the certification of content service is a system that verifies the content of a document, such as a certificate or a letter, and issues a certificate that proves the content is true and accurate. The certificate can be used as evidence in legal disputes or other situations where the authenticity of a document is in question. In contrast, in the U.S., the concept of certification of contents is not a widely recognized service. Instead, documents are often notarized to verify the identity of the signatory and the authenticity of the document. Notarization involves a notary public who verifies the identity of the person signing the document and the validity of the document itself. The notary public then places an official seal or stamp on the document to indicate that it has been notarized. Therefore, while the certification of content service in Korea is focused on verifying the content of a document, notarization in the U.S. is focused on verifying the identity of the signatory and the validity of the document. In the legal context in Korea, there are different types of demand letters used for various purposes. Demand for payment letter. This is a letter demanding payment for a debt that is owed. Cease and desist letter. This is a letter demanding that the recipient stop engaging in a certain activity, such as using a trademark or infringing on intellectual property rights. Demand for performance letter. This is a letter demanding that the recipient perform a certain obligation or fulfill a contract. Demand for possession letter. This is a letter demanding that the recipient return possession of a certain property or asset. Demand for information letter. This is a letter demanding that the recipient provide certain information, such as in a legal or investigative context. Demand for apology letter. This is a letter demanding that the recipient issue an apology for certain actions or behavior. These are just a few examples, and the specific content and format of a demand letter may vary depending on the circumstances and legal context. One can send a content certified demand letter either on your own or through a legal representative such as a law firm. If the issue at hand is simple, it may be more cost-effective to handle it yourself. However, if it is a more complicated matter and the fee is reasonable, it would be wise to engage a law firm to communicate your message. It's important to be cautious because an imprudent demand letter could backfire on the sender. Additionally, the receiver is likely to take the matter more seriously if it comes from a legal professional.